There are some things in Japan so genius that the moment you see them, you genuinely can't believe the rest of the world hasn't worked it out yet. Robots in restaurant kitchens cooking ramen to a perfect, consistent standard every single time. Public toilet cubicles with fully transparent walls that frost over completely the moment someone steps inside. And talking mirrors that scan your face, analyze your skin, and tell you exactly what you need before you've even left the bathroom. Japan doesn't build things like this to be impressive. Every single one of these exists because someone in Japan looked at a problem the rest of the world had accepted and refused to walk away without a better answer. Today, we're counting down 12 genius things in Japan you won't believe exist. Because once you see what Japan has quietly been building, everything else starts to feel like it's decades behind. Number 1. Automatic ramen cooking robots in restaurant kitchens. Ramen is one of the most technically demanding dishes in Japanese cuisine. The broth alone can take 20 hours to prepare. The noodle texture, the egg timing, the layering of toppings, every element requires precision that takes years of training to master consistently. Japan handed that precision to a robot. Fully automated ramen cooking systems deployed across multiple restaurant chains in Japan handle the entire cooking process from start to finish. Noodles are dropped into boiling water at exact intervals. Broth is dispensed at precise temperatures. Toppings are placed with mechanical consistency that no human kitchen can replicate across hundreds of bowls during a lunch rush. The result is a bowl that tastes identical every single time, regardless of which location you visit, what time of day it is, or how busy the kitchen is. It doesn't replace the craft of great ramen. It just ensures that once someone perfects it, that perfection never has an off day. Number 2. Talking mirrors that analyze your skin in real time. Every skincare routine starts with a guess. You look in the mirror, assume what your skin needs based on how it looks to the naked eye, and reach for whatever product you've been using out of habit. It's not a system. It's a routine built on assumption. Japan replaced the guess with a diagnosis. Smart mirror technology developed and deployed in Japan uses high-resolution cameras and AI skin analysis software to scan your face in real time. Within seconds, it assesses hydration levels, pore size, pigmentation, fine lines, UV damage, and oil distribution across different zones of your face. Then it tells you exactly what it found and recommends specific treatments accordingly. Some systems track changes over time, building a skin history that identifies patterns and adjusts recommendations as your skin responds to treatment. It's the difference between guessing and knowing, and once you've had a mirror tell you exactly what your face needs, going back to guessing feels like a step you shouldn't have to take. Number 3. Vending machines that dispense freshly pressed fruit juice on demand. Freshly squeezed juice means one thing everywhere else. You either make it yourself, pay a premium at a juice bar, or settle for something pasteurized sitting in a bottle that was pressed weeks ago and has been slowly losing its nutritional value ever since. Japan put a juice bar inside a vending machine. Fresh juice vending machines, found across Japanese cities, stock whole oranges in a visible compartment at the top of the machine. You select your drink, insert payment, and watch as the machine drops a whole orange into the pressing mechanism and squeezes it directly into your cup in under 30 seconds. No concentrate, no preservatives, no pasteurization. The juice that reaches your cup was inside a whole piece of fruit less than a minute ago. It costs roughly the same as a bottled drink from any other machine. Japan just decided that if you're going to sell juice from a street corner, it should actually be juice. If you're enjoying this so far, go ahead and tap like. It tells YouTube you want more of Japan's genius innovations. And if you love discovering things you didn't even know existed, hit subscribe so you don't miss the rest of this list. Trust me, the next ones get even more unbelievable. Number 4. Freshness indicator labels that change color on expiring food. Food waste is one of the most consistently unsolved problems in modern retail. Perfectly edible food gets thrown out because of arbitrary date stamps. Genuinely expired food stays on shelves because the date on the label doesn't account for how the product was actually stored. The system everywhere else is essentially a best guess printed on a sticker. Japan developed a label that tells you what's actually happening inside the package. Freshness indicator labels used on Japanese food packaging contain a chemical compound that reacts to the same conditions affecting the food itself. Temperature exposure, time elapsed, and storage conditions all influence how the label changes color, shifting visually from a safe indicator through to a clear warning as the product genuinely approaches the end of its safe consumption window. You're not reading a date someone calculated before the product left a factory. You're reading a live indicator of the actual condition of what you're about to eat. The difference is significant. Number 5. Transparent public toilets that frost over when locked. Public toilets have a universal reputation problem. Nobody wants to use one they can't verify is clean before committing to walking inside and closing the door. The result is that most people avoid them entirely, and the ones who maintain them have little incentive to keep them spotless because nobody is watching. Japan made the walls see-through. Tokyo's transparent public toilets, designed by architect Shigeru Ban and installed across Shibuya, use smart glass technology that is completely transparent from the outside when the cubicle is unoccupied. You can see the floor, the walls, the fixtures, and confirm the entire space is clean before you ever touch the door handle. The moment someone steps inside and locks the door, an electrical current passes through the glass panels, and they turn completely opaque and private instantly. Clean toilets stay accountable because anyone walking past can see the state they're in. It's a solution so logical it's almost embarrassing that it took this long to exist. Number 6. Automatic seat rotation system on Shinkansen bullet train carriages. On most long-distance trains, facing backwards for an entire journey is just something you accept if you drew the wrong seat. You either stare at where you've been for hours or awkwardly ask strangers if they're willing to swap. Japan built a button that solves it in seconds. Shinkansen bullet train seats are engineered to rotate a full 180 degrees at the press of a button on the armrest. Every seat in a row can be individually flipped, or an entire group of 4 seats can be rotated to face each other, creating a private table configuration for families or colleagues traveling together. At terminus stations, cleaning crews rotate every seat in the entire carriage to face forward for the return journey in minutes, so every departing passenger boards to a correctly oriented seat without a single request being made. It's a detail so quietly considered that most passengers take it entirely for granted, which is probably exactly how Japan intended it. Number 7. Zero-waste Matanai furoshiki wrapping cloth system. Every time you receive a gift, a takeaway order, or a grocery bag, you're also receiving packaging you'll throw away within minutes. Paper bags, plastic wrapping, tissue paper, ribbon. The wrapping exists for one journey and then it's gone. Multiplied across billions of daily transactions, the waste is staggering. Japan has had a reusable alternative for centuries and never stopped using it. Furoshiki is a square wrapping cloth with roots going back to the Edo period that can be folded, tied, and knotted into an almost unlimited range of carrying and wrapping configurations. A single cloth can wrap a wine bottle, carry a bento box, present a gift, or function as a tote bag, all without a single piece of disposable packaging involved. The Matanai philosophy behind it, which treats waste as something to feel genuine regret about, means this isn't a trend Japan rediscovered. It's a practice that simply never needed replacing. One cloth, zero waste. Centuries of daily use. The rest of the world is still catching up. Number 8. Wearable cooling vest technology used by Japanese outdoor workers. Summer in Japan is not a mild inconvenience. Temperatures regularly exceed 35 degrees Celsius with humidity levels that make the heat feel significantly worse. For construction workers, agricultural laborers, and anyone working outdoors for extended hours, heat exhaustion isn't a risk. It's a daily reality. Japan engineered a vest that keeps the core body temperature stable without electricity, batteries, or any power source at all. Cooling vests developed for Japan's outdoor workforce circulate chilled water through a network of thin tubes sewn into the garment, wrapping around the torso and keeping the body's core temperature from climbing to dangerous levels. The water is cooled in a small portable unit the worker carries, and the circulation runs continuously throughout the shift. Japan has also developed air-cooled vest variants with small battery-powered fans built directly into the fabric, which have become standard equipment on construction sites across the country. The technology is widely available, actively worn, and directly responsible for reducing heat-related workplace incidents during Japan's increasingly extreme summers. Number 9. Underground flood prevention cathedral beneath Tokyo. Tokyo sits in one of the most flood-vulnerable locations of any major city on Earth. It's surrounded by rivers, sits on low-lying land, and receives intense rainfall during typhoon season. Before intervention, entire districts flooded regularly, causing billions in damage and displacing thousands of residents every year. Japan built a cathedral underground to stop it. The metropolitan area Outer Underground Discharge Channel, completed in 2006, is a system of 5 massive concrete silos, connected by a tunnel running 65 meters beneath the city's northern suburbs. Each silo is large enough to fit the Statue of Liberty inside with room to spare. They connect to a water tank the size of a sports stadium, supported by 59 pillars and lit by a lighting system that makes the space look like an ancient Greek temple. When river levels rise to dangerous thresholds, excess water is redirected underground into the system and pumped out to sea at a rate of 200 tons per second. Since opening, flooding in the surrounding area has reduced by approximately 7 times. Japan didn't manage its flood problem. It buried it. Number 10. Japan's indoor vertical farming revolution. Traditional farming has 2 fundamental constraints that nobody has ever fully solved. It needs land, and it needs the right weather. Both are increasingly unreliable. Arable land is shrinking, Climate patterns are shifting, and the global population keeps growing regardless of either problem. Japan restructured the equation entirely. Indoor vertical farming facilities operating across Japan stack crops in dense horizontal layers from floor to ceiling inside climate-controlled warehouses. LED lighting, tuned to precise wavelengths, replaces sunlight. Hydroponic systems deliver nutrients directly to roots without soil. Temperature, humidity, and CO. 2 levels are managed automatically around the clock. The results are significant. Vertical farms produce yields up to 100 times greater per square meter than conventional outdoor fields. They use up to 90% less water. They operate year-round regardless of season, weather, or geography. And they can be built anywhere, including the middle of a city, reducing the distance food travels from farm to table dramatically. Japan didn't find a way to farm better. It found a way to make the limitations of traditional farming largely irrelevant. Number 11. Wooden satellite technology developed by Kyoto University. Space debris is one of the fastest-growing environmental problems nobody talks about. Every satellite launched leaves behind metal fragments when it burns up on re-entry, and those fragments accumulate in the upper atmosphere over decades. There are currently millions of pieces of metallic debris orbiting Earth, and the number grows with every launch. Japan decided to build a satellite that simply disappears. Kyoto University, in partnership with Sumitomo Forestry, developed Lignosat, the world's first satellite constructed from wood, specifically from hinoki, a Japanese magnolia species selected for its stability and resistance to cracking and the extreme temperature fluctuations of space. When a wooden satellite reaches the end of its operational life and re-enters the atmosphere, it burns up completely. No metal fragments, no lingering debris, nothing left behind at all. The engineering challenge wasn't whether wood could survive in space. Testing confirmed it could handle the conditions. The challenge was proving that a responsible alternative to metal construction was buildable. Japan proved it was. Number 12. Morning radio Taiso exercise broadcasts aired daily across Japan. Most countries have tried a national health initiative at some point. Campaigns, programs, guidelines, recommendations. Almost none of them last more than a few years before funding runs out or public interest fades. Japan has been broadcasting the same 3-minute exercise routine every single morning since 1928 without a single interruption. Radio Taiso, which translates directly to radio exercise, is a standardized sequence of 13 gentle movements, originally designed to be accessible to every age group and every fitness level. It airs on national radio and television every morning, and parks, schoolyards, construction sites, and offices across the country stop simultaneously to follow along. The movements are simple enough that an 8-year-old and an 80-year-old can complete the same routine side by side. That's entirely the point. Nearly 1 million people participate daily. The routine has remained almost completely unchanged for nearly a century. Japan didn't build a fitness program. It built a national daily ritual, and it has kept showing up for it every single morning for close to 100 years. If you want to see more amazing things Japan is doing better than the rest of the world, then like and subscribe. And make sure to watch the video on your end screen. It's packed with even more genius things.